Hey friend, I'm Mike McCurry and this is Bible Tract Echoes. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate your listenership. We're going to dive back into our latest newsletter. Realize we put a lot of work into our newsletter. I want to share just a few tips and little things out of it, tidbits I should say, out of our latest newsletter. We've been focusing on legacy. We've done so for months and even years now. I'm thankful for my predecessor, Pastor Mark Smith. Got to talk to him on the phone not that long ago. If you recall, he was our guest of honor at our previous open house last year. I think it was October 1st of last year. This year, we're having Baji Bob DeWitt at our open house on September 30th here in Odell, Illinois. We'd love to have you with us. We're planning, Lord willing, and the church don't rise, we're planning on recording 5 Bible Tract Echoes broadcasts with Baji Bob and with a live studio audience. Had a lot of fun with that last time, and I'm looking forward to doing it once again this time. I'm going to ask you if you would to consider coming, but I'm going to ask you to tune your ears because I've got a little something, kind of a blast from the past, maybe a name that some of you would recognize, but we're going to share not only a little life story from someone with a good legacy, but also a phenomenal poem that they wrote. I'm going to ask you to listen now. Only One Life. This is the story of C.T. Studd, a life sacrificed to the Savior. Charles Thomas Studd, widely known as C.T. Studd, was a remarkable British missionary dedicated to sharing the gospel worldwide. Born on December 2nd, 1860, in Stratton, United Kingdom, Studd was raised in a family of wealth and privilege. Despite his advantageous upbringing and the incredible athletic career he abandoned, he chose a life of service to the Lord, leaving behind the comforts and security of his status. After graduating from Trinity College, Cambridge in 1883, Studd felt the call to enter the mission field. In 1885, he joined Hudson Taylor in China as part of the China Inland Mission. Studd's passion for spreading the gospel did not stop there. He went on to serve in India and eventually Africa, where he continued to make a profound impact. In 1888, Studd married Priscilla Livingstone Stewart. Together, they raised 4 daughters and 2 sons together. Their partnership in life and ministry was a testament to their shared commitment to serving the Lord. Priscilla passed away in 1929, and C.T. Studd continued his work until his death about 2 years later in 1931 in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In addition to his missionary work, C.T. Studd was also known for his thought-provoking poetry. One of his most famous poems, Only One Life, 'Twill Soon Be Past, serves as a powerful reminder of the fleeting nature of life and the eternal significance of our actions or inactions. The poem emphasizes the importance of investing our time, resources, and energy into things that hold eternal value, such as sharing the gospel and serving others. C.T. Studd's life serves as an inspiration to believers around the world. His unwavering dedication to sharing the gospel in the face of adversity is a powerful reminder of the importance of carrying out the Great Commission. Studd's example challenges us to consider how we can contribute to global evangelistic efforts. As we remember the life and legacy of C.T. Studd, let us be inspired to make a difference in our world and play a part in sharing the life-changing message of Jesus Christ. What will you do with your one life? Now, from the pages, that was just taken from the pages of our newsletter, we also included that poem. Would you listen intently, maybe more so than any words that come across my lips? These may be some of the most important for you to listen to. There might be one listening whose life this could change if heeded. Only One Life by C.T. Studd. 2 little lines I heard one day, traveling along life's busy way, bringing conviction to my heart and from my mind would not depart. Only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. Only one life, yes, only one. Soon will its fleeting hours be done. Then in that day my Lord to meet and stand before his judgment seat. Only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. Only one life, the still, small voice gently pleads for a better choice, bidding me selfish aims to leave and to God's holy will to cleave. Only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. Only one life, a few brief years, each with its burdens, hopes, and fears, each with its days I must fulfill, living for self or in His will. Only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. When this bright world would tempt me sore, when Satan would a victory score, when self would seek to have its way, then help me, Lord, with joy to say, only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. Give me, Father, a purpose deep, in joy or sorrow thy word to keep, faithful and true whate'er the strife, pleasing thee in my daily life. Only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. Oh, let my love with fervor burn, and from the world now let me turn, living for thee and thee alone, bringing thee pleasure on thy throne. Only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. Only one life, yes, only one. Now let me say, thy will be done. And when at last I'll hear the call, I know I'll say, 'twas worth it all. Only one life, 'twill soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. I'm convinced we could end the broadcast right here with an invitation of sorts. I had intended to go further on in this newsletter, tell you about answers to prayers and about some gospel tracts and give some statistics and share some blessings, but I feel convinced for at least a moment. I feel convicted. I feel stirred. I feel somber. Time is the only commodity that is strictly non-renewable. Once spent, it cannot be recovered. And so I guess I ask, like C.T. Studd so eloquently stated, only what's done for Christ will last. So, are you doing anything for Christ? Am I doing anything for Christ? They say when you point a finger, you have three pointing back at you. Well, I ask myself that question. How sincerely, how seriously do we take His work? I ask you, friend, please, dear friend, don't waste your one life. We've been so blessed. You may say you don't understand the situations of life I'm dealing with. Oh, but friend, Jesus does. And He cares. I know He cares. But we must surrender. We must yield. Can you truthfully sing, "Have thine own way, Lord, have thine own way"? Thou art the potter. I am the clay. We began this week with a somber reflection on 9/11. September 11th is how we began this particular week of broadcasts. And we end this week also in a somewhat somber fashion. We've all had fun for sure this week. I've enjoyed the little bits of levity and humor that hopefully you have as well. But I'm glad we end on a very spiritual note. I'm glad we end on a, if you will, encouraging, yes, but convicting thought. Only one life. I would love to hear from you, your thoughts on this poem, on this thought from C.T. Studd, a man who lived his life for God's glory. I'd encourage you, if you would, to live that way as well. Maybe there are some friends that need to be said goodbye to. Not that you won't continue to try to invest in them, but they are dragging you or allowing you to lower yourself away from the stand that you know God has for your life. Maybe it's as simple as some apps on your old phone that need to be removed because you know that they're, if nothing else, distracting you. Maybe they're causing divisiveness, maybe discouragement, maybe even defilement. And you're not doing for Christ what you know you should. Maybe you need to become faithful to church. Maybe you haven't darkened the door but one time in the last month or so. Maybe you have quote-unquote good reasons. Maybe you feel justified because this happened, or someone was a hypocrite, or I was mistreated, or someone was mean, or I don't see any caveats in the command, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together. I feel like we need to be in church. You need to find a church that you can attend faithfully. If you need a recommendation, I'd love for you to reach out to me. As we conclude this week, I'm burdened. I meant to go further in the newsletter, and maybe we will someday soon. But I'm burdened about your one life. I think of my grandma-in-law, Lena Woodward. She got to the end of her days, and she thought, there's nothing else I can do for Christ. I'm not able to anymore. And my pastor, my father-in-law, said this to his mom: you can pray. And what a prayer warrior she was. She did not waste her life. I pray that I can get to that age, if the Lord tarries is coming, and be able to look back without regret. And I pray you can as well. If you have a question, a comment, a critique, even a concern, I'd love to hear from you. You can text me directly at this phone number. I'll give it to you twice. Text me at 309-316-7240. Again, that number is, text me. I'll get it right here on my phone. 309-316-7240. My prayer, as always, is that you have a great day for His glory. I'm going to plan on talking to you next week. Thank you so very much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your listenership. God bless.